Hello and good morning. It's a Thursday. Wow.
It is.
The second day of the year, officially.
It is.
Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year,
Come
GT.
on. I missed you.
Yeah, that's it. Of course I did. I mean, you guys welcomed the new decade, even though there's still some argument about if this is a new decade or not. But I think I kind of settled the argument.
Okay.
We're actually in the new decade.
Later.
We actually are. So, it is. We are here bright and early because we're eager to take on the new year. And I am still getting my talk back set. So, this is how my wonderful director communicates to us.
The director is one of those people that every morning, when you don't hear his voice in your ear, it's like something
is definitely wrong.
It's incomplete.
Okay.
But getting to work on all those things we have planned for you is more important to us than all these technicalities.
I can hear him now.
Better.
Director, can you talk to me? Good.
Happy
New Year now.
Happy New Year to you too, sir. Yes, we love you. We love you. Make it a date with us every single weekday morning, people. Come rain or shine.
I am Mike Messikenor.
And I'm Titilayo Onyinso. Stream with us live on tvcentertainment.tv throughout this year, people.
Of course. You need to have 2020 vision for this year. Now remember, we are going to revitalize our social media segment. So you can comment with us. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
Yes, sir. So the social media segment has so much packed into it that you will not believe for this year. You won't believe it. So you need to stay close. And even if you have to be on the move, download our mobile app. It's available for download on the Android or iOS stores. Your mobile devices need this app to be current, to be 2020 compliant.
Of course. So get it. But remember, you need internet connection. If you are going to use that app, you can't just put on the phone.
In 2020, you need internet, people.
For almost everything, data is the lifeblood, is life. It's everything now.
Some people even function their microwaves from their phones now.
I mean, come on, man.
As in, what are you waiting for?
The other day, it was Google Assistant, and I was just talking, giving instructions, sending WhatsApp messages, making calls. You don't need to touch the phone.
Yeah, interesting.
All right, we love to celebrate men, women, boys, girls. Now, of course...
when it comes to women, though.
Yeah.
We're going to start off with that. Our woman of the week is Bolanle Banwo, a woman who's not only making waves in a male-dominated industry, but is also taking other women along for the ride.
I like that.
And then we have a performance.
Yes, we do.
Guitar Tainer, Y-Pick.
We can't get enough of music on Wake Up Nigeria. A rapper and singer, Nappy Girl, will also be picking up the mic to give us a performance.
And then starting us off in this new year, we have the CEO of JSK Consulting, none other than Janet Adetu. She is back in 2020. And she's going to be enlightening us on New Year's resolution etiquette. Did you ever think there was such a thing as New Year's resolution etiquette? Mike?
I guess I'll find out today.
As in it? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm still on the fence.
All right. Olowo Fariwo is a Pan-African entertainment group whose music is a diverse representation of gospel, juju, in one sentence, akpala, fuji, and hip-hop. They'll be taking over the garden for a musical live band performance.
Yes, sir. Joe Adala is a visual artist who will be displaying a collection of his glow-in-the-dark artwork a little bit later on the show.
And then we'll focus on our book of the week, the Career Handbook for Kids. It's a book authored by David Barrow Thomas.
Okay.
Was that our amiable governor?
Yes.
Someone heard him talk to them and was like, oh, is that Obama?
Oh, interesting.
Is that Obama?
Isn't it too early for shades, though? Come on.
No,
now.
not shades. Like he was talking.
I don't think that would be shades.
It's
Oh,
not
really?
shade.
That's
Okay,
like-
I thought it
He was
was.
giving
I
his-
thought it was
No,
No, he
ironic.
was giving his speech and he was well spoken.
Okay.
And so, that's one thing we remember about, the President Obama, apart from numerous other things he did. But hey, he's a well spoken guy. Happy New Year, by the way.
Yes,
Pilolo.
indeed.
My nigga.
What's up? How's 2020 going? What's the plan?
What
What's
are
the
we-
plan?
Oh, more this planning. I think the
To be
list is
honest,
so long.
I
though.
feel like people are making 2020 look so scary. Like this
It is,
morning,
though.
last
is.
night, early hours of this morning, I was on social media, and where people are all the motivational quotes, all the goals. I'm not like. Shame me, I'm missing something.
You're not entering the quote
yeah,
mode.
I'm not in that space. Like, I'm in this God surprised me 2020.
well,
God surprised.
We always had this 2020, looking forward to 2020.
Yeah,
2020,
and then
health
what-
for all,
yeah.
education for all. So 2020 has always been a big one. 2000 was a big one.
Yes.
You still remember that
Yeah.
song? Education for all by the year 2000. It's 20 years after 2000. So 20, and then 2020 is a word on its own, of course, which means foresight, having vision that is that preempts, that that is not reactive, that is proactive. That's 2020 vision. So that's why it's a special
Yeah.
year, man.
It is, and it just feels like the century is no longer a teenager. It feels like whatever started in the 2000s has started to mature. So people
True now,
had some
true.
ideas, even in technology. There's some things that we're still testing out. Softwares were not so, but now, even when it comes to equipment used for filmmaking,
True. Everywhere.
back in the 2000s, people were trying things out, but now it's like they have a full idea of what they want to achieve in filmmaking and in so many other industries.
You were born in 1990. You are 30 years old.
That's my.
So you know that time 1990 to be like, 1990, all small boys. Ogbeni on the odo.
Yeah,
You're getting it also, but
Yeah,
yeah,
but-
there's a lot of things to be happy about 2020. And but you see, there's still, the thing about life is that there's still a lot we get to learn. I see things, when people give testimonies or are happy about things that happen, and at that same time, you know that there's some other people that had very, very bad experiences and all of that. So trying to use someone's bad experience as a building
yardstick?
block
Oh, okay.
for your own testimony is not so good. Tell your own. Let your own be there. So I usually say something like I was somewhere, this happened. I was the only one that this, that, and there were 100 other people that this, that happened. I was special and all of that. No, that's not too cool. That's not a very wonderful way to celebrate a new year or something.
It's been different things for different people, and of course this new year too will also mean different things to different people. But I think it's just about making sure that you use this time well and try not to make the mistakes people made in the past decade. And you can do that by reading up experiences, getting more knowledge. We talked about knowledge acquisition yesterday. Educating yourself. There are courses online that are free. There's almost no excuse now not to have some certain knowledge about what you can do to improve yourself in future.
Wonderful. And on that note, we have to head over to the news this morning. Data.
Oh, you have a point.
Ibrahim
You
is
have a
back.
point.
Happy New Year, Ibrahim. I'm here now, man. I'm here now. All right. All right. Well, apologize for that. We have some little technical challenges, but we'll sort that out. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has sent out his New Year message to Nigerians and says the year 2020 is a time of hope, optimism, and fresh possibilities. The president highlighted gains made in 2019 and outlined plans for 2020.
Addressed Nigerians in a letter titled A Letter from the President at New Year, Nigeria's Decade. President Buhari says the new year is a time of hope, optimism, and fresh possibilities. Mr. President added that the 2020s is the decade of opportunities to build on foundations laid on security, diversification of the economy, and the anti-corruption war. He thanked Nigerians for giving him the chance of a second term, stating his determination to strengthen Nigeria's electoral process. President Buhari stated that he will not be contesting the 2023 presidential election or any other elections in the future. On security, President Buhari stated that this is his primary concern and that he will continue to support the military in every way to crush Boko Haram, bandits, kidnappers, and other organized criminal networks, adding that violent extremists have no place in Nigeria. On the economy, President Buhari lauded the policies of his administration, especially the clampdown on imported products to promote locally produced goods. He says this is tackling poverty and safeguarding Nigeria's national economic interests. He added that the revolution in agriculture is a reality in all corners of the country, stressing that agreements signed with Russia, Morocco, and others will help Nigerians access on attractive terms the inputs needed to accelerate the transformation in farming. He cited the signing of the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement as an action that will allow Nigeria to fully capitalize on regional and continental markets. On infrastructure development, President Buhari says government is making significant progress on key roads such as the Second Niger Bridge, the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, and the Kano-Abuja Highway. He added that 2020 will also see tangible progress on the Lagos-Kano rail line.
The Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwoolu says his administration is focused on ensuring that it prioritizes transportation so as to ease the burden of movement on its citizens. The governor, during his New Year message, says his government is committed to massive road rehabilitation and reconstruction as a way out of the menace.
In this regard, we are also focusing on the following: a massive program of road repairs, which we termed zero tolerance for potholes all across the state. As part of our road repair program, there's a junction improvements scheme to ensure that we resolve the bottlenecks at critical roundabouts and junctions. We have identified about 60 of such junctions, and in the first phase, we have begun work on about 4 or 5 of them. We are prioritizing investment in infrastructure to shift the burden of transportation away from the road and onto different measures of transportation onto the waterways.
Governor Sanwoolu says his government has placed a priority on healthcare as it believes it is necessary for the well-being of the state.
We need to set new standards of involvement in health and education to cater for the reach of our people and our growing population. To this end, we are in this 2020 budget, the first budget of the new decade, almost doubling our spending on healthcare. These funds will go into building new healthcare facilities across the state, upgrading existing ones, and further investing in a robust and universal health insurance coverage scheme for Lagosians.
Property worth millions of naira has been lost to a fire which engulfed a recording studio and phone store in Yenagoa. It took the timely arrival and effort of the Bayelsa State Fire Service to extinguish the fire without any casualties.
People watch from it.
People watch from a distance as the shopping plaza emits a thick black smoke on a busy Yenagoa morning. The swift intervention of the Bayelsa State Fire Service saves the situation, but a recording studio was razed. Owners of the affected shops lament at the loss of property on the day passerbys chose to go on a looting spree. It is different strokes for different folks. While some are celebrating the arrival of the New Year, others are counting their losses due to unwelcome visitors on New Year's Day. And that's it on news for the hour. We'll take a look at what the day's weather will be like. The Harmattan has been quite a lot here in Lagos, and when we get back after this break, it will be sports. Let's take a look at some headlines in the papers this morning. I will be kicking off online on the Vanguard, www.vanguardngr.com. I will only act in movies to correct societal ills. That is Senator Dino. Rivers APC crisis, Amechi is focused and can't be deterred from Wuche. Udom, that's the governor of Akwa Ibom State, driving unity in Akwa Ibom with completion agenda. And Startup Capital, 2,000 beneficiaries receive Sanwoolu's 40 million naira empowerment grant. But we also have here girls, top list of best graduating students in Southern Kaduna schools. Now that's a big one, that's a big one. NLC prioritizes workers' welfare and good governance in 2020. All of this and much more, you can check out the Vanguard online.
I also have some updates from the headlines on the cover of the Punch. It says here, 3 arrested for stealing 300 bags of fertilizer. On 2023 presidency, Northern youth fault elders back south. Nigeria and the rule of law is also a story is also something that is being talked about on the cover of the Punch this morning. Being the beginning of the year, I have a feeling that's the target with that particular article. It says, I'm committed to LASU's boarding facility, according to Sanwoolu. Setting of goals and mental well-being is another article you can find in the Punch. Meanwhile, the Air Force redeploys 76 senior officers in a shakeup. NAF, that's NAF, resumes Operation Rattlesnake, kills Boko Haram fighters. Wives of Lagos Ogun governors welcome New Year babies. That's something that happens every year on the covers of most of the papers. You see pictures of these very cute fresh babies, first babies of the year. Now, Wike's wife also welcomes New Year's babies, but it also says here, Borno governor gives cash, food to displaced persons in the state. Now, ex-lawmaker faults Buhari on previous budget delays. Meanwhile, an expert laments high cost of treating kidney disease. There's also an article in the Punch on Idahosa, who apparently blames Oshomole for APC crisis. And I'll wrap it with this one, the issue of Nigeria's border closure, the pros, the cons, and the consequences. That's what we have on the cover of the Punch this morning. And that's how we wrap it up.
That was one interesting headline, the Sun, the Pope. We'll talk about it during a gist later.
Banter, yeah?
The Pope. Francis apologizes for slapping a woman. We'll talk about that. That's quite interesting. But then let's take this break. When we get back, we'll be looking at traffic.
Welcome back. We are about to give you tips on the best route for you this morning to get to your destination faster. Now, as always, we encourage that you help other road users by dropping relevant traffic situation reports on all our social media pages using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Also, this is 2nd of January, so we still have people relaxing at home. So I'm starting my first journey this morning from Bega bus stop, Ojodu Bega bus stop, to Marina. Now, this should take you approximately 33 minutes. In my whole stay in Lagos, I have never had a 33 minutes journey from Bega all the way to Obalende, but let's see how this goes. So from Ojodu Bega bus stop, we have a free-flowing traffic all the way through to the Express now. It's free-flowing free flowing through Secretariat bus stop, free flowing through the flour mills, free flowing to, now this is so free flowing, it is even surprising. Now you pass 7 Up, it's still free flowing. Now you could actually decide to take an alternative which takes you through to, when you take off to connect to Maryland, but I really don't think that's necessary because the road is clear and it goes all the way free flowing now up until 3rd Mainland Bridge. Surprisingly, as at 6:33 a.m., 3rd Mainland Bridge is free. This is even scary, but it's good scary. So now 3rd Mainland Bridge is free all the way to, okay, so at some point where we get to, we're getting off the bridge, that's close to where Adeniji bus stop is. There's slight traffic there. I don't know what's causing the traffic, but it's actually, I think this is where the point where everybody is meeting. So the traffic is beginning to build up. Now, if you're at home, you might want to head out at this point. But when you get to Adeniji bus stop, you should get the expected traffic. Now, when you get off and you're approaching Osborne, there's free flowing traffic. But now when you get to the Ring Road, okay, now I've passed Marina and I'm just taking it a bit further for some people. Now when you get to Osborne, just by that point we have the Bayo Kuku off for people who want to go through the Link Bridge, and those who want to go to Falomo. Now there's a thick traffic there, which is usually expected because there are kind of like different corners that people take to join at that point. So you might want to go through inside Ikoyi and come out at Falomo and connect back to Falomo Bridge, or you might just want to maintain some peace and quiet and just go with the flow. So let's see what Titi and Mike have, because I'm sure they might have some updates for us on traffic reports.
Why are you sure?
All right. Well, if you're not sure, Mike, I'm sure.
Okay. You do have something.
I have something because we talked about it yesterday. The Lekki Ikoyi toll is...
they started,
Yes, they started on January 1st at midnight to enforce the new cashless system.
Was there enough sensitization about
Well, there was quite a bit of sensitization, especially with people in that axis. But the challenge is that there will be people that will just get there and have to turn back. So that's definitely going to cause traffic. So, of course, the new system has been put in place to reduce traffic, but it's going to take a while before that happens. It has something to do with some kind of voucher or e-tag that you need. But as of right now, it is causing traffic, and people need to take note of that. That's the first thing that comes up online. But yeah, so apparently no other real updates on what traffic is like in other parts of Lagos, but I know that we'll see them eventually.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. There's no one now, but I think that people along that route should try as much as possible to get it, and then they should also ensure that, you know, it's quite a very small bridge. So if it was the other one, you know, at Ozumba,
Yes.
as in heading towards
Lekki
Expressway, you have enough space to turn.
Yeah.
You understand? But because of Ikoyi Link Bridge is quite, you know, so I hope they should ensure that there's a space for people to turn back if you don't have the tag.
Having a conversation with someone on it actually, and the reason why they said they didn't buy the tag initially was because the tag for the main expressway toll gate gives you an extra lane and you bypass. But the other one doesn't have an extra lane for you to bypass everyone. You're still going to go through the same traffic. So, you know, what's the use of the tag? But I guess they're making everyone buy it now anyway. So that's that. Talk
Okay.
Thank you. I did experience having to go back and face the other, take the other toll gates because I forgot yesterday. But now just a quick update for people going from Aja to Bonicam. Now it's going to take you 31 minutes and you have free flowing traffic all the way from Aja up until you get to Ikate bus stop. So I think that's really good for anyone who is traveling that route. And from Ikate bus stop now you have just, I think it's just the traffic light at that point. You have free flowing traffic again up until you get to the Lekki toll gate, which is expected at that point. And immediately after the Lekki toll gate, you just have slight traffic from that point to the next traffic light. You have free flowing traffic up until you get to Ozumba, which is thick traffic, and it begins to ease out up until you get to Bonicam. So I think today is really not bad on traffic. Remember, as I always say, try not to let anyone offend you. I think everyone is still in high spirits as it's a new year, so I'm sure you'll have a good journey this morning. Let me go join the rest and see what's happening up and about in Lagos.
Yeah, so I feel people are still on holiday mode.
Oh,
They've not
yeah,
hit the
yeah.
road yet. They
Definitely.
want the weekend to just come, go, and then on Monday, boom, we'll see
Yeah.
all those
On
traffic
Monday,
queues again.
man, on Monday, yeah, it's
Yeah.
like it's going to begin then. I know a number of people who are still maybe on their way. Maybe some even traveled for the new year, and then some are coming back at this point in time.
Oh, dear
so,
me.
yeah.
Take care, Tokwe. Take care. Take care.
My enemies they will not find me.
I like that. I like that. I like that. No, but you know, when it comes to the new year, especially with school, so that people have started all their back to school campaigns again for kids, and it just means that you have to buy a lot of things. I don't know.
Kudos to
New
you
school
and
bag, new everything. But
they can use their old bags.
well, they actually can.
I use Spider-Man.
Invitation.
A new decade,
I mean,
right? I used Spider-Man last year. I want to use Incredible Hulk.
I want to use Black Panther this year.
Oh, goodness me.
Okay, so I would like to mention New Year's Eve, right? The Pope, there's a video of the Pope, I don't say slapping, spanking. This is
I don't know if
a
spanking is
lady.
better. I don't know if
So
that's
it was
better.
this,
Smacking is better, I think.
you guys, it's because of what people are using spanking, that word for. People have used spanking on another level, but okay, so it's
Yeah,
smack.
excuse me.
Smack and all of that. And it caused, the video went viral. And so, it was just very slight, But in a very, very shocking and unusual way, the Pope apologized for that. And this is something, now, if you are a Catholic, you understand that. One of the dogmas of the Catholic Church is papal infallibility. That means that in issues regarding teachings of the church or regarding his exercising his authority as a pope, he cannot make an error. It's a dogma of the Catholic Church. So it has been debated upon in different ways and all of that, but then it so happens that a lot of popes will never apologize no matter what it is.
Because it creates a precedent.
Exactly. He apologized, he put out a statement, and it's shocking even how far he went. He went as far as saying that, look, he's sorry for that, and that women have been, there's been violence against women, they've been used for a lot of things. So violence against a woman is like violence against God or something, because his son came off a woman and all of that. He went so far, and I am so proud. And I admire Pope Francis so much.
I find it interesting. It's admirable, yes. But I find it interesting because what if it was a guy that he had smacked in such a way? Would it have, would the apology have come so quickly? It's just a question, just putting it out there.
As a Catholic, I think the Pope apologizing is big.
Let's not bring the man inside the apologize.
Man or woman is big.
It's
like
big.
He doesn't need to get, but he did. Now, speaking on that, on violence in general, I think we don't need to categorize violence against women alone. Violence is violence. So whether it goes to a woman or it goes to a man, I think we should try as much as possible to not exert our anger or whatever it is through violence. I think yes, I do. I know I'm a woman, and there's a thing of, for women, there's more attention given to women. But I think individuals should find other means to exert how they feel than violence. So because it's a woman, it shouldn't.
I understand it. What I wanted to steer the discussion on, as much is very, very, very valid point. I wanted to steer the discussion on the part where, like in a country like ours, we have religious leaders who have become gods of men. In fact, it's unheard of it's very rare for a religious leader, especially in these climes. I'm talking about Africa, to even say he made a mistake. Like I feel the Pope has given such an example, a glowing example, where you have to understand that no matter what, your pastor, your man of God is a man first.
Being,
he will make mistakes. Without doubt, he will make mistakes. But coming out to apologize, the Pope has given a very wonderful example. I feel that is an example to men of God, your religious leaders, that, hey, come on, you will make mistakes, and if you do go the further to apologize, that's a good one.
Yes,
that's what I wanted to mention.
From that angle, true. I totally support that. And now that mistake, to buttress Mike's point, now this mistake is beyond physical mistakes. I mean, physical abuse mistake.
Yes, no.
Verbal abuses of any sort
Okay,
should be apologized.
so but the-
you should apologize for that.
Okay, so now it now feels like I'm coming from the opposite angle. Now it always feels like I'm playing the in quote devil's advocate.
Okay, so what are you
know,
doing now?
I'm wondering what it was that led to him actually doing it.
No, if you see the video,
You know?
she dragged him. It's not.
Yeah,
Whatever
so,
he
okay,
led,
so I'm
whatever
trying to
happened.
think.
The point I'm just trying to
I
make
get
here
you, Mike.
is the
Let me-
apologizing. Whether it led, what's happened. If you watch the video, you see it. So he's greeting a number of people. You understand? And she drags him. He almost even falls down.
Oh,
So it might have
So,
been
you know,
reflex, but whatever
it
it
just
was,
reflex.
I think what Mike is trying to say is, as we start a new year, people, leaders, spiritual leaders, and leaders in general should be able to know that, first of all, you're a human being before you're a leader. So when
That's
you do
just
something
it.
wrong, don't hide behind whatever position it is you're holding.
Exactly.
You should remember that you're a human being and
And,
people are looking
So
up
what
to
has
you.
the
that's it.
response been?
That's it.
What
That's
has
it.
the response
Lovely,
been
lovely.
like
He's,
online?
this Pope is a very different kind of Pope.
Yeah,
There are a
he
number
is.
of things he has done that are unusual. You understand? For somebody of such standing
Mike,
to do.
what
So
sort
for
of
me,
response has been online?
wonderful.
to
It's a
this?
great. That's what I'm saying. A great
No,
response.
what
They
have people
love.
been saying?
They
Are you
love
sure
what
everything is
you
in
don't
one
get. You don't get.
direction?
He's not even. You don't get. The point is that it's unusual. So
Yes,
it's
it
a
is.
plus for him. Like the Pope. Do you know who the Pope is? He's known as the Vicar of Christ.
Christ, yeah.
Okay.
If you go into, you understand, he's a.
I'm trying to
I don't even
find.
go
I'm
so
trying
far.
to find
You
out from
understand?
Mike whether there
So,
have been some memes on this because I know that the people online are not that kind.
Well, when the
Fine.
man-
I feel like yes, as growing up Catholic. Did you grow up Catholic?
grew up
You
Catholic.
grew up Catholic. Because you guys grew up Catholic, y'all are just, you
Oh,
know,
no,
hey.
not because I grew up
I'm
Catholic.
just saying,
That's what
I'm
I'm saying.
wondering what sort of responses. I'm going to check it out
You
myself.
should check it
and
out,
we'll
but
talk
that's
about
the
it
thing.
later.
I think that's because
Because-
you don't understand what the position of the Pope. But I don't think you even have to be a Catholic to understand
Exactly
the position
my
of the
point. So
Pope.
I'm trying to find all the angles here, you know.
Yeah, but for people on social media to understand that this person
Did
of
you-
such a position apologizes, that's the big
Some
thing.
angle is not
All right
there.
Madam
then.
Devil's
All right
advocate.
then, no Allah. It's all about giving all the angles, and we'd love to hear your angle on this as well. Use our
Don't stop any
hashtag.
kind of handle.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Use our hashtag.
I'd
Wake
say,
Up
are you
Nigeria
Team
on
Titi or
TVC.
Team Mike on this?
Wow, really?
There's no get.
It is a good century to be a woman, and we like to celebrate the achievements of the more notable ones who are breaking boundaries and shattering the proverbial glass ceiling.
Okay, so my name is Sanwoolu Arinke. I'm the founder of the Female Designer Movement, an initiative that helps women learn design for free.
Our Woman of the Week has definitely been busy in the world of technology. Omobolanle Banwo is a brand identity designer and design advocate who is on a mission to even the women-men ratio of participation in the said field in Nigeria.
I like the font color, but I prefer white. So how do I change my font color? What's the first thing I do? I go to my what? Text. Beautiful.
Our other mission is to train and equip women with design skill sets that will aid their entry into the Nigerian technology ecosystem.
TFDM is an initiative that, that I created to help women design. We started in 2017, and we really wanted to see women do much more. We really wanted to show them how easy it is to design, how easy it is to get into the design and tech ecosystem. So my plan initially was to train just about, just few women in my living room and just bring them together. But then we had tons of women register, and that really changed my perception about everything. And then I realized that this is actually a major problem in Nigeria. There are lots of women who actually need this opportunity to learn something they are passionate about, but then they don't know how to go about it. And that is exactly what led to the creation of TFDM. So right now we've trained more than 1,000 women across Nigeria, different states. And we also had a training in Monrovia, where we trained girls as well to design.
This 25-year-old wears 2 crowns and a head very comfortably too. Founder and lead creative at the Female Design Movement, as well as the CEO of Geneza Brand, where much of the work is centered around creating strong identities for small and medium businesses.
We work on their full branding, their logo, their websites, everything, everything about it. So we even help start up businesses. So you have an idea, you just don't know what to do, or you have a product you want to sell. We help you visualize your ideas. And then we also have Geneza training where we train people, hands-on experience in design. They get to design for like 4 hours per class, and then they get to do so much. We have people who have never designed before. They come for the training and then they leave, different. We work with several facilitators, several designers, volunteering their time for free. And then we also work with organizations who give us things to do. Some of them provide space, like we use the Afrinoli space for like most of our events. And we have companies who give us money to do what we are doing. And so yes, we usually get sponsors. Change motivates me. People living up to their full potential. There's this joy I feel when I see people making decisions or utilizing opportunities to change their lives, and that's exactly why I'm very passionate about TFDM, because I really want people to change their lives basically. Sometimes we have people who do not know what to do. I mean, I have received emails from women, saying things like they don't know what to do with their lives, they're passionate about design, but they don't know anything about it. And then they come for our events, and then they have this reassurance, basically. They live with a sense of direction. They know what to do next with their lives. And so that is what inspires me, people grabbing opportunities and using it well. So there's this quote, it says that simplicity is the highest form of sophistication. I love that quote because I believe that as things advance, they become simpler. The world is moving, companies are rebranding, people are changing their style, people are doing different things, and if there's one thing that is constant, is that things are becoming simpler.
Omobolanle hopes that in a few years, the female design movement will become the largest network of women in design and tech across Africa, empowering and introducing more women to design. And we are going to be right here, rooting for her all the way.
Our vision is to empower women across Africa, building the largest network of African women in tech, and to change the narrative, basically. I want to change the narrative of the African design ecosystem. We have a very low representation of women in this ecosystem, and then I want that to change. And that's why I'm doing everything I can with my friends, the other designers on my team. We're doing everything we can to encourage these women, to make them see that anything is possible.
Ypic, he is one of Nigeria's finest entertainers, known for his creativity with Afro, hip-hop, and jazz fusion music. Now, he recently released what he titles Naija Guitar Vocals Volume 1 with a catchy 15 tracks, and I have him here with me for a performance. Yeah. Good to have you here, Ypic.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, now you have a lot. Your Afro fusion guitar. Oh, please give us a sneak peek into that.
Just trying to do something that is different from the normal thing. We have some people that really like these are Zanko, the new trend music, this Latin kind of music, but some of them don't want to listen to the wordings. So some of them will appreciate it when they hear the instrumental.
True.
So that's why I decided to.
So how long have you been doing this?
Over 10 years now.
10 years? Wow. And how has the journey been for you?
It's not easy. I'm trying to create something new in the industry.
Yes.
So some people accept, some people will be like, what is it doing? Are you sure it's the one doing it? No. So I'm still trying to put my head So that's why I have to just drop the first volume, the first album. So
how's the reception of the first volume been?
Yeah, I just dropped it actually. So
when did you drop it?
Last week. I just dropped it last week. So I'll be doing the album listening by tomorrow. So
tomorrow, okay.
Yeah. So
Well, I am like the 1 million other people that do not understand what this is about. So you are going to have to show us how great this is.
Yeah.
So let me take the mic up and let you blow our minds.
Yep, yesterday was 2020, the new decade kicked off, and of course, we are eager to take it on.
We're also eager to be spending it with all of you, especially since you tune in every morning to Wake Up Nigeria.
Now, you know how it is, 6 to 8:45 every weekday, and of course, we're bringing you some serious entertainment. My name is Mike Besikeno.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. Please stream with us, tvcentertainment.tv, and of course on Facebook Live at TVC Connect.
To comment on our social media handles, use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC across Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
We'll be looking out for your comments, especially as regards our discussion earlier, and we're going to be making sure we keep you updated with all the information you need online. We have an app available for you to download. Please do that on Android or iOS as soon as you can. From anywhere in the world, as long as you have internet, you'll be able to watch us.
We have a chef making her debut on the show today, Chef Blessing, aka the Lady Golfer.
Yes, indeed.
You play golf?
Chef Blessing.
Yes, I do.
Yes,
So
she
Chef
does.
Blessing has, you know there's some men, I'm sure, I don't know if Mike is like those men, but in the morning, they don't want anything English. They want the Nigerian way. Chef Blessing is here to give us the Nigerian way.
Yes.
Wow. Chef Blessing, do you play golf? Why the Lady Golfer?
Yes, I play golf in IBP Golf Club, Abuja.
She plays golf.
Wonderful.
Plays
I like
golf.
that.
What a
I like
vibe.
That. I like that. Oh.
Look at that spread, people.
I told you.
This,
This
we're going
is
to be
the
playing golf
Nigerian
without
breakfast.
fish.
This is a meal fit for kings
Yes,
and
it
queens.
is. Yes, it is. Let's get straight to what we have.
Be amazing.
To what we have this morning. Of course, rapper and singer Nappy Girl has a performance for us, the second one, and now that will take place shortly.
And then we have the CEO of JSK Consulting, Janet Adetu. She'll be enlightening us on New Year's resolution etiquette. Never knew there was such a thing, but we'll be finding out about that later on.
Olowo Fariwo is a Pan-African entertainment group whose music is a diverse mixture of gospel, juju, akbala, fuji, and hip-hop. Now they'll be taking over the garden for a live performance.
Mr. Joe Abdallah is a visual artist. He's going to be displaying a collection of his neon glow-in-the-dark artwork a little later on the show.
We have a book of the week, Career Handbook for Kids, which is authored by David Barrow Thomas. That's what we're looking at. I like that. There's a chef there. There's a chef there.
Yeah.
Speaking about career handbook, yeah. Sometime last, I was going to say last year. Oh wow, it's last year. Okay, well, sometime last year, like in December. So my aunt's kids call me, they're twins, and then they're telling me that they're in secondary school now. So it's like a movie that I'm watching because they're always sharing every day. And then the daughter tells me that, so they have career day coming up. And I'm just like, oh, really? What do you even want to be? And to be honest, I was expecting doctor, engineer, lawyer, you know, the usual. And then she says she wants to be a baker.
Wow.
She wants to bake cakes. And I was shocked. I'm like, you don't want to be a lawyer or an engineer or a doctor. She's like, no, they're boring. I want to be a baker. I was so shocked. And the one that made me so happy was the son, because they're twins.
Yeah.
He said he wants to be a footballer. I'm like, yes.
Ah.
Yes.
Those are two very money-making industries right there.
I was so impressed.
Yeah, the football money is not like other monies.
As in,
So this is the deal. This is the deal. I want to tell you, this one, I've given this advice many times. If you have a son or anybody, a daughter, and you see that they have the talent for football,
push
now,
them.
even if they don't like it, but they have the talent, just let them see, come.
Let's have a conversation.
Let's have a conversation. You see, from 30 years, your life is just starting. But you see, play football. When you get to 30, do anything you want to do with your life. But the money they have made, as if they have the talent. So football money is not like other money.
Honestly.
But so I recently visited a bakery. And when I say a bakery, I mean a factory for bread.
Oh, okay.
And they said they turn over about 4,000 loaves a week. Look, they do 2 trucks of sacks of flours in a week. So I'm talking about an industry. Bread is not a small something. So baking is also a big industry.
I know. That's what
when you think about it.
I'll be a great aunt to them, give them all they need, so that when the money start coming back, they remember,
have you bought football for him?
I bought him, he said he had his whole jersey. He just wanted, I've forgotten what it was called. I just sent the money. Yes, I'm like, whatever it is you need, I will send the money.
I will get them. Just call him some inspiring him.
Yes.
So that he knows that Tokwe was there for
Tokwe
him.
was there for you when nobody was.
So remember is collecting 500,000 pounds.
Just take this 100,000 pounds and just be all right.
All right, then. Now it's about time for us to take the news update, and Ibrahim is standing by.
Tokwe, look forward. Maybe next one will be a boxer. Would you like that? The next
boxer, yes. Boxer too. I'll keep that. That'll be my own son. Don't worry.
The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwoolu, says its administration is focused on ensuring that it prioritizes transportation so as to ease the burden of movement on its citizens. The governor, during his New Year message, says his government is committed to massive road rehabilitation and reconstruction as a way out of the menace.
We need to set new standards of involvement in health and education to cater across the states. As part of our road repair program, there's a junction improvements scheme to ensure that we resolve the bottlenecks at critical roundabouts and junctions. We have identified about 60 of such junctions, and in the first phase, we have begun work on about 4 or 5 of them. We are prioritizing investment in infrastructure to shift the burden of transportation away from the road and onto different measures of transportation onto the waterways.
And Governor Sanwoolu says his government is also placing a priority on healthcare as it believes it is necessary for the well-being of the state.
We need to set new standards of involvement in health and education to cater for the reach of our people and our growing population. To this end, we are in this 2020 budget, the first budget of the new decade, almost doubling our spending on healthcare. These funds will go into building new healthcare facilities across the state, upgrading existing ones, and further investing in a robust and universal health insurance coverage scheme for Lagosians.
Now, property worth millions of naira has been lost to a fire which engulfed a recording studio and phone store in Yenagoa. It took the timely arrival and efforts of the Bayelsa State Fire Service to extinguish the fire without any casualties. People watched from a distance as the shopping plaza emits thick black smoke on a busy Yenagoa morning. The swift intervention of the Bayelsa State Fire Service saved the situation, but the recording studio was razed. Owners of affected shops lament the loss of property on a day passerby chose to go on a looting spree. It is different strokes for different folks. While some are celebrating the arrival of the new year, others are counting their losses due to their welcome visitor on New Year's Day. Outside Nigeria, Iraqi security forces have regained control of the area around the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad after the compound was rocked by a second day of mass protest. Wednesday was the second day of mass destructions or demonstrations outside the building in Baghdad's heavily fortified green zone in response to U.S. airstrikes on an Iranian-backed militia group on Sunday. By evening, the protesters had cleared away from the embassy compound's entrance. Spokesman for the main protest group says the order of the protesters to withdraw was issued because America has received their message. And thousands of people are fleeing a vast tourist leave zone in Australia amid forecast of ferocious bushfire conditions in coming days. Since September, Australia's bushfire crisis has killed 18 people and destroyed more than 1,200 homes. At least 17 people remain missing after fires tore through Victoria and New South Wales this week. On Thursday, long lines of cars clogged highways leading back to Sydney and Canberra. Many roads remain closed due to the raging fires and other dangers such as unstable or fallen trees. And that's the news update for this hour. Stay tuned for the weather.
All right. Hello and good morning. It's time for the kitchen segment to officially begin. Da, 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 da. Now, January is a time for fresh things. Things like fresh fish, and we have fresh fish right in front of us here, courtesy none other than Chef Blessing, a.k.a. the lady golfer. And now she's making her debut on the show. Welcome to our studio.
Thank you so very much. Thank you.
All right, so what sort of foods do you cook majorly?
Majorly, we cook fisherman soup, like African meals.
Okay.
That's Calabar Aroma Restaurant, yeah.
Oh, so
Ekpan,
Calabar
Oko,
Aroma.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. So it's mostly Calabar originated menu, right?
Not really. We also do continental as well.
Okay.
But basically, people really know us for fisherman soup.
So fisherman soup, you need to break it down for me.
Yeah.
What exactly goes into fisherman soup? Is this everything here or there's more?
Yeah, there's more, depending on what you want. Choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can go over the ingredients that we have on the table here. Let's start from here.
That's snails.
Snails?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is prawns.
Any special type of prawn?
Jumbo prawns. I like to use jumbo prawns.
But you can use anyone.
You can use anyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What's this?
That's pepper. That's I like to use crayfish Maggi.
Oh, okay. Crayfish stock cubes.
Yeah.
Is there? If I use the chicken stock cubes, for instance, would it have a different effect?
Yeah, exactly, because this is soup you want to make.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to do like seasoning for chicken, that's when you have to use chicken cubes, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I can see two white powders here. What's this?
Okay, this is salt, and that is corn flour. Some people use it for, if you want to make it for thickener.
Okay.
Some people use cocoyam. I don't use cocoyam because it will give you different tests for your fisherman. Yeah.
Fantastic. So there's greenery here. I like this. What's this?
Yeah, vegetable. Some people use vegetable leaf, while some people use, there's another one they call adusa leaves. Adusa leaf, yeah.
But this type of leaf is called what? Is this the ugu leaf?
Yeah, that's the ugu leaf, yes.
But it's not much.
It's just a little, yes. Okay. People don't like.
This fish, what type of fish is this?
That's catfish from the river. You know, I don't like to use fertilizer fish at all. I like to use everything from the river, you know, that is fresh. And
we've gone over our ingredients now. What is the first thing we need to do?
Okay, you need to put hot water inside this.
Okay, and, inside the fish?
Inside the fish.
All right, so I know we've been boiling some hot water back to back earlier, trying to make sure it was very hot. Can you tell me the reason why it needs to be very hot?
Because you need to wash all the algae, all the germs, everything that came with the fish from the river, because definitely a lot of hands have touched the fish. There's like this one came from Akwa Ibom. So we had to do a cargo to send it down. So you have to wash it for all the germs and all of that to go off. If you can see now, there's a lot of things coming out from the fish, like algae or something.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Looks like there's a lot of stuff that's on this fish I didn't see before. It's alarming, actually. Okay, you can just pour more, please.
So once you put hot water in it, it's definitely going to change.
Okay.
Yeah, everything is going to change.
The color is also changing.
Changing, exactly.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. So do you leave it for a while or do you
like
do something?
for like 3 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, just for it to.
So while we're waiting for
soak.
this to happen, tell me what's happening next.
Yeah. Okay. Now we have to put in some salt inside.
Okay.
The
salt.
Yes, please.
And then after that?
After that, wash it out.
All right. So while we're doing all this really interesting cleaning of the fish, we have to take a quick break. But, well, hey.
Nappy Girl. Now, she is a rapper and a songwriter signed to Lumberjack Entertainment. Just last month, she released her EP titled BBL 808. Ooh, you released an EP. Now, you have to tell me about that. You didn't tell me that one. So tell me a bit about your EP.
Okay, so it's BBL 808. I can't say the full name because this
okay.
is TV, but abbreviation, hashtag BBL 808. So
Okay.
it's a rap project. It's a body of work that kind of like encompasses my alter ego.
Oh, okay. So what is your alter ego?
Nappy Girl.
Oh, Nappy
You
Girl.
know, the
okay.
boss. Beep.
Okay.
Yeah, so, you know, just
So how was it, like, how long did you work on this EP?
Okay, so I decided I wanted to put out an EP I can't even say last year anymore. This is a new year.
Yeah.
Okay, so in 2018,
Yeah.
I decided, you know what? I think I want to put out a body of work instead of just putting out singles so that I would have something that would keep me, you know, on the go for a while. Because I'm kind of person that I need a project to be committed. Do you understand? So I was like, okay, let me put out a body of work. So when I decided I wanted to put out a body of work, I had a lot going on at the time, so I couldn't put it out then. And I didn't even know exactly what the body of work was going to be about. But I've been recording for a while, for years. I'm a regular recording artist. So I had songs already. I think the only new song that I recorded precisely for the project is the track 1, Envy.
Oh, okay.
Because
so
originally I wanted the project to be titled Envy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Before BBL.
Yeah. But then along the line, you know, going through the songs that I had already recorded in the past, I'm like, why am I keeping all these songs?
Yeah.
Why am I trying to re-record new songs for a body of work when I already have a body of work? So all I did was go through a series of listening sessions to do like song selection with my team and with some music,
and then
big heads that, you know.
BBL.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what? We're going to let you give us the BBL vibes from this EP and let's see what's buzzing.
All right. Thank you.
Paper. Aye. All right, wonderful performance there. I like that one. Janet Adetu is a certified executive business coach with expertise in corporate protocol and organizational change. She's also an emotional intelligence assessor and transformational leadership coach. She is also the etiquette boss. And today, we'll be talking about New Year's resolution etiquette. I never knew there was something like this, so I am set to learn today. Good morning, Janet, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
You're welcome.
So excited to be back. Yeah.
Yes, it's great to have you.
Thank
Now, you have a
you.
very colorful outlay here, and I'm looking forward to our discussion today. But first of all, what is a New Year resolution etiquette?
Honestly, let's even start with the meaning of New Year's resolutions.
Okay.
Globally around the world, people tend to wake up on January 1st or within the first 1 week of January and say they're going to make a New Year's resolution. And what is that? It's about wanting to stop something, wanting to start something, wanting to achieve something. And that's a so-called goal for the whole year, so they say. So it's like, I'm going to stop eating chocolate for the whole of this year kind of thing. Or I'm going to lose weight. You know, they're very common ones, and I'll mention them in a minute.
Right.
But generally speaking, it's done at within the first week of the year. And what tends to happen, however, I must say this, statistics tell us that 80% of the time,
80%.
they fail.
4
That
out
means
of 5.
People really say they want to make a New Year's resolution. They want to stop something or start something something or achieve something, and they just don't follow through. So within 4 to 6 weeks, they totally forget, or it's totally deflated and it's forgotten about, and it goes down the drain. And that's really unfortunate. If you want to make a New Year's resolution, you have to be intentional about it, you have to be deliberate about it, and you have to say, I want to do something different this year from that of last year.
So how do you go about this process?
I'm going to tell you that. So for instance now, the most common ones are, I would like to lose weight. So health-wise,
yes, health-wise.
I'm going to diet this year. I want to lose some calories. I want to lose weight. Okay, or they might say something like, I want to quit something. I want to quit smoking. I want to quit drinking, you know, if that's the case. Or I want to save more money this year. Or I want to make more friends this year. I want to meet more people. Or this is the year I'm going to find my spouse. So those are the kind of resolutions. But truth be told, if indeed you want to do, you want to write down something that you want to achieve, you want to stop, you want to start, there is the etiquette about it. Like I said before, be intentional about it. For me, it's about a mindset shift.
Okay.
Change your mindset.
Okay.
Really do what I say is a SWOT analysis. And how do we do that? SWOT analysis is WSOT for people who are in business that have heard about it. You know, your strengths, your weaknesses, opportunities that lie out there for you, and threats. Sit back just for like an hour or two. Now that it's New Year and maybe you haven't gone back to work or you haven't opened up your business until Monday or so, sit down and write down things that you did very well the year before.
I like that. So the first thing you have to do is get something to write down.
So in order for you to be able to do that SWOT analysis, first of all, there's a few things I should say if you want to write down a New Year's resolution. And for me, not so much New Year's resolution, New Year plan.
New Year plan.
Make it a New Year plan.
Wow.
So I would say, first of all, get a jotter.
I would love to do something
big, thick
practical.
jotter, yes.
Okay.
All right. Or a big gratitude journal, all right? Have your pen.
Okay.
Have your highlighters, okay?
Oh, okay.
And begin to write down progress. What did I do great last year?
What did I do great last year?
What did I not do so well last year? And just think about it. What are the things that I'm really, really good at? And what are the things that I think I need to improve on? What opportunities lie out there for me? Maybe you've been wanting to start a business of some sort and, you know, and it's by the side. Yeah, write it down. I'm good at this. Maybe I can make some money out of it. And write out what possible threats are out there. So you've got your journal.
The SWOT analysis
yes,
we're talking about.
You've got your gratitude journal. So this gratitude journal is, for me, write down like 3 good things that happened to you that day. And you can write it every night or once a week. Good things that happen to you during that
So this is
week.
a journal that you don't just write once and drop. You pick it up every day.
Write down your goals.
Okay.
Plans here.
Okay.
Maybe your New Year's resolutions.
Okay.
All right. This is a gratitude journal every day.
Okay.
It guides towards those goals. You're going to write things down. Now, to make it even easier, I like to use index cards that you can write them down. 1 card per resolution or 1 card per goal. Write it down. So I want to lose weight. What does it mean? I'm going to exercise, I'm going to eat well, I'm going to drink more water, I'm going to sleep well. Pointers to achieve.
So that's
that weight
after,
loss.
Under the goal, you write out how to achieve
Write
the goal, the
it
steps
down.
you take.
And the steps. Because if you say you want to lose weight, it's not going to happen overnight. You're going to have to do something. So it's like an action plan. Write them down on your index card. And you know what? These post-it cards are really great for you to just write them down, stick them. So you can stick them in your diary, you can stick them on your table, you can put them on your desk, you can stick them by your mirror, in the bathroom, your dressing table. Stick them in your car, anywhere where when you wake up in the morning you can see it. And what am I saying here? Affirmative statements or the goals itself. This is my goal this month. And because you need to make those goals really specific, right? My goal for the year, my goal for this quarter, my goal for this month, my goal for this week. Hey, my goal for today. You know, you want to write them down, okay? And it's really important because if you don't write them down, it's not going to happen. And first of all, when you're thinking about those goals, have a vision. I always tell people, start with what you love the most. Start with your passion. What do you like doing the most? And work from there. Because when you do it for passion, you're not going to be doing it for money. It comes naturally. And money will work its way. So you got your passion, write it down. Let it be really specific. This year, this is what I really want to do. And for me, don't write 100 New Year's resolutions. 3 is good. go for the 3 and work on that 3.
And work on that one.
Work on that 3, and like I said, for the year, for the quarter, for the month, for the week, for the day. It's really important.
I will let's just round off with this. You made mention of something wonderful.
Yes.
There's so much we've learned, gleaned in such a short time. You made mention of resolution and plan. Is the issue, is it an issue of the word actually, or what that makes it?
Don't make it a resolution. Make it, this is my New Year's plan, because it becomes more effective. You can execute it better. You can measure it. You can make it realistic.
Wonderful. I just wanted to know that. So it's not just about semantics.
No.
They are entirely different things.
Thank
you so much, Janet. It's always a pleasure having you on the show.
Having me.
All right. I hope you've been able to glean something and learn how to, fashion your New Year etiquette.
Yeah.
Now we'll take this short break. Don't go anywhere. We're back shortly.
Thank you.
Welcome back. I'm in the kitchen with the lady golfer herself, Chef Blessing, and she's making fisherman soup. Earlier on, she showed us the first part of the process of washing the catfish. But we also have prawns, we have snails, we have so many other things to do. So what are we doing now?
We want to season the fish.
Okay, show us how to season the fish.
For those that are cooking for personal use, you can use the onions.
Okay.
But if you're doing for restaurant that you have to cook a lot of it, you can't use onions because it will scatter.
Okay.
And people now start asking you, my fish is not complete, those kind of things. So this is Maggi now.
The crayfish seasoning cube.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you're using 1 or 2?
1, because it's 3 pieces inside already. So if it's just a piece, then you use half.
All right then. So now that goes straight on the heat.
Yeah.
All right. While we blend our pepper. We added water to that. No tomato. All right.
Yeah.
And is that like a lot of pepper. Are you not worried about
No,
the heat?
because we are going to put in the seasoning and also use it for the soup.
Okay.
So that's why we have to do a lot of pepper. And because it's fish, a lot of people like it spicy.
I'm looking at this shrimp and he's looking at me too. So we have to have a conversation.
Okay.
Let's have a conversation.
Okay,
with
now,
this shrimp.
before you start the main process of the cooking,
yes,
you have to empty the pot now.
Okay.
Put it in your fire. You put the prawns here. You put this inside.
Together.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Then you put onions, because we want to start cooking immediately. Put the onions inside. That's why it's fisherman soup. Then you put water.
Water. All right. Fantastic. So the water you're talking about now, is it just a little or is it a lot?
No.
Just a little?
A
like
little.
a cup of water?
Like half of this is okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So now I'm trying to understand the process of all this. The shrimp, is there any other spice you're adding to this?
No.
All right.
We are going to put a little bit of pepper here, inside here.
Now?
Yeah.
All right. You want me to help with that? I got it. Yeah. Fantastic.
So you just put a little bit of pepper.
Okay.
And
now that pepper looks hot, I'm afraid.
And you have to also put it here in the seasoning. It's fish, you just have to make it spicy.
All right. So now what's the next move we make?
We have to boil. We put this in fire, and I think we have to change this to.
All right, let's heat that
Heat
up.
up.
But this palm oil is just normal palm oil I can get anywhere, or did you bring this one from Akwa Ibom too?
Everything is from Akwa Ibom.
Everything is from
because
Akwa Ibom.
I want this everything, the taste to be. Yeah. So people are mixing the palm oil now in the market, so you have to be careful with where you're sourcing it from. Okay. So you put a little bit of oil here, and you have to let it heat up for like 3 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. What am I throwing into that red oil?
This
whole mixture?
Yes.
With the water?
With the water.
Okay. Now this is something completely out of my purview here. I'm learning something very new.
Yeah.
So this fish, for instance, now you've added pepper, there's a little bit of water in there and the spices.
Yeah.
How long is that supposed to be on the fire?
It can be for 15 minutes.
15 minutes?
Yes.
But I'm not adding anything else? Just leave it?
No. Just season it and leave it. Then you take it out and put it inside here.
Hey, okay. All right. So
you have to bleach this for 3 minutes.
I don't know if our fire alarms here can take that bleaching, because I know what bleaching of oil can do.
No. Not really. It's soup. If it was like stew, you can do for a long time.
Okay.
But it's for soup, so 3 minutes is not a lot of time.
Okay, all right, okay. So there's only one other thing I can see on the table here, and that's the ugu leaf.
Yes.
Now I know obviously
that will come last.
So what are we going to do to it exactly?
You just cut it big. You know, if you're doing a dikaikon, you have to cut it tiny.
Okay.
But because we're doing fisherman soup, you can cut this into 5.
Okay, can you show us how to do that, please? Just show us what you mean by into 5. So just 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4, 5.
Yeah.
So you leave the leaf like that, and you add it after everything.
After everything, yes, please.
So now, I'm not seeing much. What's the word? Moisture. I'm not seeing much water.
Water is coming.
It's coming.
Yeah, you don't have to put water right now. You have to let the fish water come out first.
Okay.
Before you now add your water. Why are you doing that? Because you want the seasoning to enter into the fish.
Okay, all right. I'm getting there. That has bleached enough, I believe.
Yes.
Let's add that in.
You now take this.
So the shrimps. Woo, that was the sound I was waiting for. The shrimps, the snail, the onions,
everything
pepper
inside.
and seasoning. Straight in the water.
Yes.
So how long is that gonna stay on?
Yeah, you have to leave this because you have to allow the prawns and the snails to cook for a long time.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Then this is it.
And that's
Did you
what we're
see?
looking for.
Yeah.
Yes, so.
Did you see this? Yeah.
Okay, I know the whole world can see it, and their stomachs are rumbling like mine. I'm just being very patient.
And then again,
this.
you know that while you're cooking, because you're going to put a lot of water here, so you have to use the corn flour.
Okay.
For thickening. That will come last. I'm just telling you ahead of time.
Yeah. So the corn flour is not much, like
you just have to add a little bit of water and dissolve it. Yeah.
So let's show everyone how to do that. So the corn flour, you dissolve it with water.
Just a little. Yeah.
You know what? I think a lot of people have learned quite a bit. Fisherman soup is coming your way, people. But we have to head into the garden. It looks like Tokwa is having a bit too much fun, but I'm having even more fun in here.
Yeah, you know, this is really, the one we sell more in.
But guess what? That was just the beginning. Tell me, what are you performing for us this morning? I'm sure that was just an intro.
Yeah, we're going to give you the best of music.
But this is
all kind.
So this was not the best.
No.
More is coming. Tell us, how long have you been together?
Roughly 10 years.
Well, how has the journey been?
Not easy, but God's grace, we are pushing everything together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I'm sure people watching are like, Tokwa, please go. We need something to bring us up into enjoying the new year. So
yes,
I'm going to get out of your hair and please give us a little more to enjoy. I hope you heard him call my name. I'm out.
Yeah. Hallelujah. Bàbá mímọ́, ọdún tuntun la wà, wọ́n ní
Ọlọ́run tí a kò lè dá dúró. Bàbá o, mo gbé ọ̀gá o. Ọlọ́run tí a kò lè dá dúró. Ọlọ́run tí a kò lè dá dúró. Mo gbé ọ̀gá o. Ọlọ́run tí a kò lè dá dúró. Àbúkú ọjọ́, bàbá mi gbàwé mi ló ṣe, ọba lànà, ọba lòní, bàbá mi gbàwé mi ló ṣe, ṣé ọlọ́run tí a kò lè dá dúró. Òde ọ̀gá, ọlọ́run tí a kò lè dá dúró. Ẹlẹ́bùrú kọ́, òde ọ̀gá, you are God, you are not just big. You are not just right. Baba, you are the great God. You are God. You are not just big at all. Come on. You are God. You are not just big. You are not just kind. You are the great God. You are God. Hey, you are not just me. You are not just God. Hey, oh, you baby, be real, oh, you call me. Oh, you baby, call me. Oh, you baby, call me.
Now the Harmattan is here to remind us that it's a new year, even though it kind of made a late entry. The Harmattan didn't really start on time.
True. It's been getting later and later. I don't know whether it's climate change or whatever, but it's not like this. But then, now we're feeling the season. We are. Now,
my hands are cold. I'm seeing all those funny.
They are.
Dry skin marks.
Of course.
And all that.
It's the third lap on Wake Up Nigeria. Now we always have an early start. You know how it is. If you missed at 6, 7, well, from 8 now, there's still quite a lot to. Did you feel that band? See, talk about yours, baby, anyhow. I was feeling it, man. Like, I already have some workout this morning. Like, I feel good. Harmattan, live band, Wake Up Nigeria, the combination.
Speaking of combinations, the combination of ingredients happening in that kitchen is just on point. The best way to start the year. Now, that fisherman soup is. He's gathering weight, you know.
What swallow are we taking it with?
So there are choices.
She
has choices, yes. So we'll find out what she's doing in a bit. But Wake Up Nigeria is the show that is really, really fun early in the morning, so you don't have any reason to not tune in.
No reason at all. I am Mike Messikeno.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. Please get online and stream with us if you have to go anywhere. That's tvcentertainment.tv and of course on Facebook Live at TVC Connect.
Send in your comments, use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. We'd like to hear from you, so please do that.
Yes, indeed. Now, if you haven't, download this app already. Like, have the app on your device. If you have a device, go to the Android or iOS store, depending on what device you use, and watch us from anywhere in the world. Just click, and we're right there.
Now, still to come, Olowo Fadiwo in the house. Now, the next time we get back to that garden, nothing stopping me from going there. I'm going to be in that garden, and I'll be body anyhow. He's still around, and he'll be giving us another dose of that wonderful, wonderful feel of live music.
And then ex-Big Brother housemate Joe Abdallah is going to be displaying his art collection of glow-in-the-dark neon artwork. And we're going to be talking a bit about how he came about these pieces in a bit.
To wrap up the show, we have our book chat. And the book of the week is Career Handbook for Kids by David Barrow Thomas.
Man, that baby body this morning.
Oh, did you hear them call my name? Did you hear? Was it talk my baby?
You don't have spray. They call your name, you don't have spray.
I was unprepared. I was unprepared.
Okay, so you're going to be prepared for the next time, man.
No.
So there's something I wasn't actually prepared for in the kitchen. The process of making this fisherman soup is like something I've never seen before. I'm telling you, the ingredients are fresh, like fresh from the river.
Fresh from the river?
Like, I'm just looking at these ingredients like
so they're
I've
not
never
refrigerated. There's no
nothing,
processing.
no
There's
processed
nothing.
anything.
Fresh.
I think the only thing processed probably would be the stock cube, but that's the only thing. And the fish, she said, came all the way from Akwa Ibom.
Ooh,
okay. They had to ship it down.
They shipped it down.
That's your people.
So that's
don't even say what I think you're saying.
Before, you know that in that kitchen, the way we do it, we have a rule here. There's a modus operandi here.
Wow.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
What is it?
What's the rule?
Tell us.
Mode of
I want to learn it.
I'm confused.
I seem not
so
to
we
know.
have the food has to pass through a process. Yes.
That
That process is called a familiarization process.
Wow.
You know,
it
it's
seems
called
like the 2020 process.
Yes. It's Vision 2020.
Feels like there's a new constitution.
So we do a feasibility study on the food.
On this fisherman soup.
Yes. A feasibility
Mike,
study
you're hungry.
to ensure that
Mike, you're hungry.
it complies with
Mike is
international standards.
Mike, you understand? She will keep some for you.
Speaking of international standards, I have to mention the artist we have in-house today. Have you ever seen glow-in-the-dark art before?
I actually have.
A bit of it, yeah, a bit of it.
Okay, so he's a Nigerian artist, and he's going to be, so we're going to have to show how it glows in the dark, and that's going to be an interesting one.
Glow in the dark. That
Yes,
sounds like one groove somewhere. Glow in
Yeah.
the dark. You know,
Well, speaking
some
about the
dark things.
fisherman soup, when she said everything is fresh, that reminded me of, I think there was this movie I watched sometime about this Nigerian husband that wanted his food fresh every
I've heard
day.
of some people like that. So they don't allow,
So,
you don't give them refrigerated food.
No, it has to be
You have to
fresh.
cook food fresh. So the man wakes up by 11
you
p.m.
have
and
to
says, Madam, should cook egusi
She'll
soup.
cook fresh food.
Fresh food.
Wow.
Fresh.
And so I think it comes from the parents of that guy. So is it that your mom used to
Make
make
fresh
fresh for you
food.
every single time? Or maybe she just told you it was fresh? You know?
No. The movie was really popular then, and it was fresh. Like she used to cook for him fresh.
So
And
This is 2020, man.
I know that there are some husbands, there are some people that make such demands.
fresh food every day.
We have to head over for the news update, and Ibrahim is standing by.
All right, welcome to the news again. The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwoolu, says its administration is focused on ensuring that it prioritizes transportation so as to ease the burden of movement on its citizens. The governor, during his New Year message, says his government is committed to massive road rehabilitation and reconstruction as a way out of the menace.
In this regard, we are also focusing on the following: a massive program of road repairs, which we termed zero tolerance for potholes all across the state. As part of our road repair program, there's a junction improvements scheme to ensure that we resolve the bottlenecks at critical roundabouts and junctions. We have identified about 60 of such junctions, and in the first phase, we have begun work on about 4 or 5 of them. We are prioritizing investment in infrastructure to shift the burden of transportation away from the road and onto different measures of transportation onto the waterways.
Governor Sanwoolu also says that the government is placing a priority on healthcare as it believes it is necessary for the well-being of the state.
We need to set new standards of involvement in health and education to cater for the reach of our people and our growing population. To this end, we are in this 2020 budget, the first budget of the new decade, almost doubling our spending on healthcare. These funds will go into building new healthcare facilities across the state, upgrading existing ones, and further investing in a robust and universal health insurance coverage scheme for Lagosians.
Property worth millions of naira has been lost to a fire which engulfed a recording studio and phone store in Yenagoa. It took the timely arrival and effort of the Bayelsa State Fire Service to extinguish the fire without any casualties. People watch from a distance as the shopping plaza emits thick black smoke on a busy Yenagoa morning. The swift intervention of the Bayelsa State Fire Service saved the situation, but a recording studio was razed. Owners of affected shops lament the loss of property on the day passers-by chose to go on a looting spree. It is different strokes for different folks. While some are celebrating the arrival of the new year, others are counting their losses due to the unwelcome visitor on New Year's Day. And outside Nigeria, Iraqi security forces have regained control of the area around the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad after the compound was rocked by a second day of mass protest. Wednesday was the second day of the mass demonstrations outside the building in Baghdad's heavily fortified green zone in response to U.S. airstrikes on an Iranian-backed militia group on Sunday. By evening, the protesters had cleared away from the embassy compound's entrance. Spokesman for the main protest group says the order for the protesters to withdraw was issued because America has received their message. And thousands of people are fleeing a vast tourist leave zone in Australia amid forecasts of ferocious bushfire conditions in coming days. Since September, Australia's bushfire crisis has killed 18 people and destroyed more than 1,200 homes. At least 17 people remain missing after fires tore through Victoria and New South Wales this week. On Thursday, long lines of cars clogged highways leading back to Sydney and Canberra. Many roads remain closed due to the raging fires and other dangers such as unstable or fallen trees. And that's it on sports news. On the news, sports news is next.
Agudami oje lábẹ́ Gẹ̀ẹ́sì o, iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ mi lè mí jẹ́. Godoku kan kùtù ló bá sá, kiri kan ò mọ́ níṣó. Mo láìkí ẹ̀bẹ̀ yẹn. Godoku kan bá gòdó bá sá, kiri kan ò mọ́ níṣó. Àwọn tó gbéra wọn ní nǹkan pàtàkì àwọn rí wọn mọ́ àwọn dà. Torí ọkọ̀ tó ní bọ́ọ̀lù ọ̀sẹ̀. Mo ní kọ́ máa ṣe dùn wá lálágbé mọ́ amúnudùn lórúkọ tiwa. Òbá ti kú ọ̀tá ìbáyọ̀ ẹ̀ kálákọ̀ rí ọmọ ti lọ. wọ́n ní bólódé ò bá kú ojúde rẹ̀ ojú koríko. àìkú òjìrì ayé kò sẹ́ni tó wá ṣe ṣe gbẹ̀dú. lọ́jọ́ tí ìjọ kẹrẹ lọ́jọ́ kẹrẹ pépé sùn ló pọ̀. olúwa mà ti rírù mi dákun wá fèrè sí iṣẹ́ mi. bí èsì ọlẹ́yìn mi bàbá ta ló lọ lọ́wọ́ ta lálábàárò mi. ta lálábàárò mi. ta lálábàárò mi. bàbá mi mú alábàárò mi ṣe. ta lálábàárò mi. ta lálábàárò mi jọ. Jésù alábàárò mi ṣe. ẹ̀bùn tó fún mi bàbá màmá ti gbà lọ́wọ́ mi. ta lálábàárò mi. ta lálábàárò mi. ta lálábàárò mi. ta lálábàárò mi.
Olówó Fariwo. Don't worry, I'm coming outside to dance. Don't worry. I know you're preparing a song specially for me. I understand. I know. And of course, we're starting the year the right way. And for our art display today, we have Joe Abdallah. Now, he's a visual artist who works on paintings, graffiti, murals, miniature sculptural works, as well as modern architecture illustrations. Now, today, he's going to be showing us a number of pieces that are heavily detailed and expressive in a very special way. Welcome to the studio once again, Joe.
Thank you very much.
All right, so for those that don't know, Joe is also an ex-Big Brother Naija housemate, and he's one of those controversial characters. And I think we can see why. I think we need to start talking about some of your pieces. I can see that you put this one right here, right in front of us. It feels like she's a front runner. Talk to us about her.
Yeah, she's actually the big sister to every other one.
Okay.
And I was trying to express how the mind is. You know, we use the woman to represent, you know, the world itself. So she's actually, apart from her being my favorite, she expresses more, you know, with the plants and everything. And expressing growth and all. Every single thing that comes out from the mind is the one thing we don't pay attention to, which is what we're supposed to pay attention to.
I've noticed she is very colorful, but all of them are very colorful. But there's a lot coming out of the mind, as you said. Let's talk about this lady down here. Is it the same mindset, or is she different?
No, it's different.
Okay.
So she's giving out more, and if you consider from skin color, she's not black, she's not white, she's pale.
Okay.
She's giving so much out. And even if you're supposed to get the ideas she's bringing out, you fail to. So it just comes out, and she has nothing left. For she's getting to that point, you know, she's expressing every single part of herself, and we're getting there. She's still fruitful to an extent. You have less plants here, more plants there. It's going to get to this stage, and there's a bigger piece actually that I'm not displaying. It's going to express more, and we'll be able to understand it better.
So what about this lady here? One of her eyes is covered.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about her?
I think that would be the ones that are not confident enough, shy to express themselves. You know, we have a lot of people that are true to themselves, yes, but in reference to exposing what they really are to the world, it's difficult. They don't want to let you know so much, and it actually looks like one person. I think we can familiar with Kim Oprah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Kim Oprah.
Yeah, from the Big Brother.
Interesting. So that lady over there, she's darker skinned, I noticed, but she also has like a third eye.
Yes.
So what's the third eye about?
She's actually blind.
Oh, wow.
So this is the only eye she uses to see.
Okay.
And the third eye actually encompasses every single sight. So rather than just give what we have in our mind, you need to see what they want, then give them exactly what it is. That's why, to an extent, that skin color is like the African, stronger. You know, they know what you want, and they give you what you want. They don't just give. They make sure that they know what you want before they give, because it doesn't end up in a waste.
Beautiful. Now, I'd like you to put her back where you got her from, because there's something really special about these pieces. Now, I'm not sure what sort of paint you used, but we know that it glows in the dark, and we'll be looking forward to seeing the effect of this. So can you tell us about You know, okay, we're going to kill the house lights now. And you need to tell us about the material you used to paint these pieces.
Okay.
Yeah?
So most, they're acrylic, most of the designs, but we have more the neon paints.
Okay.
Luminous paint actually glows with black lights, mercury. And that's actually why I'm doing it differently. So even when you see how colorful it is, you don't still see this part. So until you have this, you'll be able to tell that what she's expressing is way more than...
So I can see that it's more of the greenery that's showing here, but here, this lady down here, her hair glows more than the flowers. Is there a reason for that?
Yes, so specifically for her, as saying growth, that's what she expresses more.
Okay.
Here on the other hand is more on the luminous aspects, and that's actually for strength. Like you see the brick design down there, and you can see all the other patterns that actually signifies the structures we have in the community and all. This is just natural in reference to growth.
For artists such as yourself, putting paintings like this together is a lot of work, you know, but do you have to be in a certain mindset before you can do things like this? Or does it just come to you every single day?
It comes to me when necessary. Sometimes I just have this particular feeling and I want to put it down. So I'm not really great at expressing myself sometimes. The best I can is to, you know, put it down in painting. And the mood is always there. You know, there's an aura. I always like to make sure my chakra is enlightened enough before I put down things.
All right. So as you can see, this is an interesting collection, and it feels like it would be like a travesty to take them away from each other. So I feel like you wouldn't sell one without selling all of them at the same time, or something like that.
Being
or not have
a series.
Yeah, a series.
Yes. Well, she on the other hand is totally different from the three.
Okay.
And the bigger one is supposed to encompass the rest. That I can literally get anyone to have a piece each. So if you have a series, you're restricting people from getting what they want.
Okay. Interesting.
2 of them are already sold. And they're getting them separately. They're not getting them all together. But you know, for the big boys, they can take it all.
I'm really interested in the fact that they're luminous, and if I was to put this up on my wall, I would have to get one of those black lights you called. All right, so we have to wrap up on the art segment for today, but thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
We have quite a bit left on the show. The kitchen is still abuzz, some amazing food being prepared, but we'll be taking a quick break and then we'll be back.
While it is always rigorous for adults to make up their minds on career paths, it is often Herculean for teenagers because the child wants to be everything and anything, from wanting to be a 3 or a lion to becoming a doctor, lawyer, engineer, nurse, and all of that. Now, the author of this book, Career Handbook for Kids, is Dave Barrow Thomas. He is a business administrator with a master's degree in media and communication. He has authored 4 books, but the focus this morning is this book, Career Handbook for Kids. It's great to have you.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. Thank
now,
you so
this
much.
is quite, it's exciting, it's wonderful to read, very colorful, and like you say, it's a career handbook for kids. What is your expectation? What do you expect this book to do in the life of a kid?
All right, so thank you very much for having me. Yeah. The whole idea actually is to help kids to understand what they need to know about each of the various careers they want to go into, or that. You know, for me, it was born out of my personal history as a child.
Let's talk about that. How was it growing up for you? What did you want to do? Are you doing what you wanted to do?
Coincidentally, I dabbled into it by would I say, by mistake, so to speak. I got into the media by a stroke of
serendipity. I understand.
Yeah,
it does happen.
You know, I had a mother that was quite doting and quite engaging, you know, with me. And she woke up one morning and she started calling me Didi, as in Dr. Dave, Dr. Dave, Dr. Dave.
Dr. Dave, it rhymes well.
You know, I grew up with that, you know, and I lived the dream for her until I got to class 3. When I got to class 3, it was like,
You can't
I don't think I want to be a doctor. I want to become somebody like MK or Abiola, you know, because to me, Abiola was a businessman. He had lots of money that he was throwing around, you know, with the big agbada.
And all of that.
And all of that.
Yeah.
And my people will call it a dagba, you know, just lots of women, you know.
I understand.
You
I understand.
So
and this kind of things
yeah.
are fascinating for kids. Now, something about this book, it's not just put up in chapters. What happens is that you have about 50 careers here, and each one is broken, you know, different ones, from accountant to veterinary doctor to teacher, police officer, engineer, caterer. How does this, as a parent, how would a parent use this book? How would it help guide? You know, parents have their expectations. Like you said, your mom wanted something for you, you know. But this book, from what I see, it's easy to read. It's for a kid to help them make decisions. How do they use this book? And, you know, because their expectations might be different. So how can they use this book for their kids?
Okay, it's quite interesting. That's a very interesting question. You know, parents also need to go through this, you know, to be able to interpret it and bring it down to their kids. You understand what I'm saying? Because the kid may probably not have a full understanding of what it is. Though what we did here, we kept it very simple. You know, we took the very, very core facts in everyday language and presented it to the kids.
I like that. Let's start
know.
with actors, which is like the first one. It says, I am an actor. The profession is called acting. What do actors do? I like that. So it points out actors are people that have talents or trained to tell stories through acting as to entertain, inform, and educate people. And then what is another name for an actor? Where can you find an actor? What are the characteristics of an actor? I like it. So you break it down and all that. So if
like a question and answer format, you understand. You ask the question and you go through the answer, and it builds, you know, it sinks down. You know, it sinks down as you go through the answers.
I like that. Now, I remember talking earlier about a footballer. I looked for it. I didn't see footballer, but I saw something that would suffice for that, sports person. And I love the way you put it out. You said, what does a sports person do? Sportsmen, women are people involved in sports as a profession because they're being paid for it, not just as a hobby, not trying to keep fit, but as a profession. That means that you have to take it seriously, much more seriously than somebody who just wants to keep fit.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you made mention that you also you knew how to play football. What happened? Why did you turn out to be a footballer?
Interestingly, don't look at the way I'm looking right now.
Some footballers are big also.
You know, I had this very, very strong passion for football growing up. You know, but back then in our days, you dare not walk up to your father.
How? How do you want to do it? Koboko, you go and read.
Somebody talked about being a baker and all that. When? Back then, you know, it's not possible. But the dynamics has changed. You know, time has changed.
They have.
And it's quite interesting what we are seeing now. Okay, but we will not be caught up in the euphoria of this. We need to bring the facts. We need to bring the information, you know, as simple as possible, you know, to the kids. Beyond what they do as career days. You know, back then we didn't have that. We didn't have that. Beyond what they do as career days. You take this book back home, you know, and it presses the knowledge further for the kids. You know, in the career event, we're all excited. I want to be these. You know, the doctor comes and talks about it, and he leaves. And the kids get home and he's still confused as to what the facts
exactly.
are.
That's something I wanted to ask. Where do you draw or make a balance between what a child is good at and what they might be passionate about, if it's not the same thing?
Okay.
You understand? For instance, maybe a child is good with instruments, musical instruments, but this child, like you said, sees Abiola, MK Abiola, and says, I want to be, I love all the accoutrements, I love all the paraphernalia, the women, the money, and all of that. But this child is quite very good with musical instruments. How do you tutor, or how do you get the best from that child, knowing, telling the child where is best to go, when passion and ability are two different sides?
That is where the parent need to be very observant and also need to be very careful. You know, our parents, most of them have a preconceived idea and they want to press it on the kids. But if you are careful enough to observe your kid, you look at their nuisances, you look at their personality, you look at the things they like, the things they dislike. By the time you put all that together, you square it with each of the personality traits, you know, for the various careers. As a parent, you will be able to see through the line what this kid is good at. You know, for me as a president, I didn't know I would go into the media. You know, because I grew up as a very shy person. I grew up not wanting to interact. I grew up like more like a recluse, so to speak. But when I got to secondary school, I became the president of my press club. It didn't get to me that I could become a media person. I was still glued with becoming a business administrator. You know, I got out of school as a business administrator, but when I was in university, actually, that was where the problem started. I discovered that I don't need to read business admin to become a business administrator. You know,
True.
But otherwise, my friends at Alaba International or Trade Fair
Would not stand any chance.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I understand that.
You
I understand that.
So that was what actually got me. That was the beginning of this book. Because I got back, you know, way back in school, I started studying, you know, what does it take? You know, how can you become this? There is so much misinformation out there.
All right, wonderful.
So eventually, I came out with the first edition during my youth service, and it became an award winner. Yeah, NYC saw what I did, and it was like, wow. I was doing the career talk for kids. I was doing career talks at colleges of education and all that way back then. And it got pretty excited about what I was doing.
Thank you. You know what? This is very wonderful. Would have to stop here, but this is wonderful. From what I've seen, it's colorful and it's a good guide for parents and children. You know. Now, there's one profession I saw here, farmer. I know that fish farming is also something. We have fisherman soup. I don't know if you've ever tasted that, right?
Interesting.
We'd have to try it at the kitchen now.
I can't wait.
Right. Okay, let's go there.
Thank you so much.
All right, this way. This way, please. Okay. Ooh.
Welcome to the kitchen. Welcome. Amazing book, by the way.
Okay, please have a seat.
Please take a seat.
Thank you. Please have a seat.
Chef Blessing has been hard at work. The lady golfer is also an amazing chef, as you can see. Look at that.
Any comments on just looking, just see?
I can't wait.
You can't
You
wait.
can't wait. Okay, so lady golfer, can you tell us very fast how we came about this while you're serving?
Okay, firstly, we had to season the fish, wash it with water, season the fish with ingredients, onions, pepper, Maggi, and thereafter, you put your empty pot on the fryer, bleach it with palm oil for like 3 minutes. Okay. Then you put in your prawns, your shrimps, your snails, pepper, onions inside. Just for like about 15 minutes, get it steamed.
Aye.
Thereafter, you pour the fish inside.
So, my man, the way I'm feeling this lady golfer food while the
I'm
garden.
doing this for you because I can see that it's going to be a very quick one. Please have a taste of this. And we'll move this closer to you, sir. Please use style to just
have a taste.
Taste the soup. Taste the soup. While we
Do you
serve.
have provision for takeaway or something?
We do that at the restaurant.
Please.
Okay.
There's so much that went into this meal. You have to taste it.
Just have a taste and. Thank you so much. Yep.
Can I take the whole of this?
Of course you can. Of course you can. Of course you can. Wow. What do you think?
Wait a minute.
Wow. A big shout out to Homely Angie and everyone who was part of the show. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. We'll round up the show with Olo Fire in the garden. I'll probably go join us right now. Let's go round it up.
The lady golfer.
You have to come.
ọ̀gbẹ̀gàn kọ́mí ọ̀gbẹ̀gàn bínúbínú kọ́mí ọ̀gbìn olówó tí ó fariwo ní kọ́mí ọ̀gbẹ̀gàn ó yá máa gbọ́ Tọ́pẹ́ Tọ́pẹ́ bye bye to your boyfriend bye bye to your boyfriend ọkọ tí ó ṣàkóso tí ó ṣàpápá o bye bye to your boyfriend bye bye to your boyfriend bye bye to your boyfriend ọkọ tí ó ṣàpápá tí ó ṣàkóso o bye bye to your boyfriend.